Oh, Canada. That's true north, strong and free. Oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be doing a video, but things are so comfy over here with this MyPillow stuff. Anyways, hey folks, I've got a smashing great report for you today. I'm Neil Johnson with Lumberjack Logic. Excited to bring this news to you. This is big. Okay, so there was a leaked DNC internal poll. The numbers are shocking, but there's also why was it leaked? It's going to be an interesting show here. But real quickly, mypillow.com, promo code Lumberjack, save you up to 66%. I love these travel pillows, and this is their new pet blanket. I got the pet bed too. It's really cool. So I love my dogs. I do. Just like those wonderful truckers up in Canada love their dogs that the government threatens to euthanize. Where is the outcry from PETA? But that's another story for another time. I actually want to talk some U.S. politics here. So I pulled from 4 sources for this report and my own great mind that I share with you on a regular basis here on Lumberjack Logic. Yes, my own plethora of thoughts and great wisdom. Anyways, no, check this out. So there's an internal DNC poll that was leaked. This has been kind of around in Politico and everything. I'm pulling from, there's a guy I follow on Telegram, Maximus Forever. Then I've got Wayne Dupree, Axios, and Ace of Spades. All fascinating. This is a fascinating poll. We need to look into this. The Dems are going to be wiped out, okay? And people say, oh, no, Neil, how do you know that? Because, you know, what if they do some shenanigans? No. Wait till you hear these numbers, okay? The poll reveals 59% of whites and Hispanics equally plan to vote Republican in November in swing districts. Now, people say, well, you know, I thought the Hispanics didn't like the Republicans. No, the illegal aliens who just want carte blanche borders, free open borders, don't want that. But actually the Hispanics who are here and are legal and are trying to work and see the drugs pouring across the southern border and the problems it's creating actually do like, because they like a lot of conservative politics, many Catholics, and they're very pro-life and so on. Anyhow, the side tabs also showed 42% of African Americans disapprove of Democrats. People, if they lose the African American vote, it's over in perpetuity for them. This data comes from swing districts. Now, that's the 40 to 60 districts that the GOP are targeting, right? Now, so they're going to win all those, okay? But they're going to win more than that. I'm telling you, this is 100 seats. The notion that whites and Hispanics are in sync regarding 2022 is probably the most shocking thing Mr. Maximus has ever seen. It is very shocking. And you'll remember that Trump ran on the issue of immigration. That was his big thing, right? And so many people said, oh, it's wrong-headed. You need to do this, that. No, it was the issue that he won on because we don't want porous open borders. In fact, as we get into this, you're going to find some really interesting questions, okay? The Dem, here, it gets so bad. The Dem poll showed Republicans leading Democrats by 14% on the congressional ballot. This confirms, you know, all those other polls I've shared with you, and that recent one from Trafalgar, which was 12%. This is 14% on an internal Democrat poll. Okay, again, I want to remind you that during the 2010 midterms, Democrats and Republicans were tied at 45%. That's when the GOP won 63 seats. Go back to, I think it was 1982, when the Republicans had another big win, and it was actually Democrats +1. People, you are going to see something here come November that is way beyond the margins of errors. Just, you get where I'm coming with that. Now, check this out. Out of Wayne Dupree, he said, there's something about Dem's new leaked internal polling that's very suspicious, okay? Now, he talks about some oversampling and some other things. No, the poll is accurate. He gets into that. He said, and he even says that. But the internal polls are king, he said. And now you've just seen a leaked internal poll from the Dems. This leaked polling is suspicious, though. Not because I think it's fake. I don't. I believe it's accurate. His analysis of this is great. Democrats, this is out of, I think, the Political piece. Democrats' own research shows that some battleground voters think the party is preachy, judgmental, and focused on culture wars, according to documents obtained by Politico. What? The Democrats preachy? I thought they were the non-judgmental party. No, I'm telling you, the people that talk about the judgment thing are the most judgmental people you'll ever see because they project. They always project, okay? It's the plank in the eye. This is what happens. It's a principle of life. You can guarantee it, okay? Focused on culture wars. And the party's House campaign arm had a stark warning for Democrats. Unless they more forcefully confront the GOP's alarmingly potent culture war attacks, think school boards, think parents here, folks, that they are freaked out more than anything. I was going to do a video on that the other day. Really good. Maybe I'll still get that done. Canada. I've been all on Canada, okay? Sorry. Just is what it is. I see we're not just, we're not an island here in America. Yes, it's very important. We're the last stronghold, okay? We're the shining city on the hill. We can't let this fall. In fact, it's slipped too much. We need to get it back. But this is a worldwide problem right now. The march against freedom. We're seeing it throughout Europe and Canada and so on. And all Western quote-unquote democracies, we're a republic here in the U.S., but should be calling them out, and we should be taking in Canadians as refugees, okay? The party's House campaign arm had a stark warning for Democrats. Unless they more forcefully confront the GOP's alarmingly potent culture war attacks from CRT to defunding the police, they risk losing significant ground to Republicans in the midterms, okay? And it goes on. Now, there's another from Axios here, but what the point of this is, and what Wayne's saying is, they leaked this because they're trying to, well, here's the article from Axios. Squad politics backfire. This is out of Axios, far left, okay? And they say squad politics backfire. They are actually right now, see, here's what the thing. Democrats have always run cover. So you guys know, any of you who are educated enough, know how far off his rocker Obama was, how deep embedded with the WEF, Klaus Schwab, and all that kind of nonsense, and how good he was at gaslighting. And it was like people were in a trance and they'd listen to him, kind of like some Canadians up in listening to Trudeau. So the issue is that they were kind of stealth communists. But see, the problem is the squad is very open and vocal communists. Now, I mean, if you were listening, you could find out that Obama was an out-and-out communist, but the problem is the media wouldn't report it. You had to look for that. And out in public, he would oftentimes say things that seem more centrist, as their favorite word. But the hard left politics, this is out of Axios. Listen to this. This is Axios. The hard left politics of Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the so-called squad, once a dominant theme for vast numbers of elected Democrats, is backfiring big time on the party in power, top Democrats tell us. Why it matters. The push to defund the police, rename schools, and tear down statues has created a significant obstacle to Democrats keeping control of the House, the Senate, and the party's overall image. It's what we've been screaming about for a year, said Matt Bennett, co-founder of Center Left Third Way. They're not center, gosh, I mean, but it's a huge problem, okay? So, the most liberal city, remember I did that report, if you guys didn't see that, it was awesome. San Francisco, they talk about the recall election, landslide, 70+% of 3 San Francisco school board members, too woke even for San Francisco, okay? It's part of a barrage of evidence that progressive activism of the squad pushed the party's image way left of where most voters are, even most Democrat voters. So, now, the last video I released on Trudeau shows him talking like he's into free and open societies while at the same time then pushing forward with tyrannical rule. And even my kids could see that. They said that's the actions of a tyrant. I didn't have to explain anything to him. I just let him listen to his own words, and they could tell, okay? But the squad members' aides have declined to comment on this. Of course they have, okay? And then he goes on, this is a seismic shift from just a year ago. The signs have built steadily throughout President Biden's 13 months in office that the squad politics are problematic when you control everything. 30 House Democrats, the most in decades, have announced they'll retire instead of running in November's midterms. That's winning, folks. They see little hope of keeping the majority in this environment. Democrats lose poll after poll of generic House matchups, which ask voters if they prefer a Republican or Democrat if it were held today. Okay? Now, So it gets worse for him. Listen to this. The DCC is concerned, this out of Ace of Spades, is concerned that Republican, the poll found that 57% of voters in competitive congressional districts agree with the statement. Listen to the statements. Democrats in Congress have taken things too far in their pandemic response. The reason I bring up the Axios piece, I'm sorry I didn't finish that point, is that they are now trying to push those people to the side because for Democrats, of course, they want to control and they want to stay in power. They just don't want to advertise how far to the left they are. Nancy Pelosi is very hard left, but even she comes out against the squad because she knows that they're ruining the Democrat brand, okay? Let's see, white, Hispanic, okay, black voters, 42, Asian voters, 46%, okay, disagreed with the statement that they push things too far. Where am I looking for? Here, 64% of voters agreed with the statements that Democrats in Congress support defunding the police and taking more cops off the street. The internal poll found that 80% of self-defined swing voters in competitive districts agreed with the same statement. Now, quick sidebar on that, okay? You've seen how the Democrats, look at what's going on in Canada. They say defund the police, but then they try to use the police as their enforcing arm. And sadly, some police have gone along with it. But there's questions as to who these police officers are up in Canada. There's a lot of speculation floating around on the web. But some of them are definitely Ottawa PD. And they've been identified. So you can find that information all over on like Telegram. You know, some other, again, folks, I'm going to plug other social media right now. I got on Truth. I'm at like number 300,000 something in the waiting list. But you have got to create accounts on other platforms. Go down to my description. You can see where I'm at. Okay, use whatever you want to use. I'm becoming a little more engaged on Rumble. We do have a big live stream coming up on Rumble tonight. Please check that out, 8:30 p.m. Make sure you're subscribed over there. Let's see. That's where you can find all the really good stuff. It's not on YouTube, sadly. 62% of voters in contested districts agreed with the statement Democrats in Congress have created a border crisis that allows illegal immigrants to enter the country without repercussions and grants them taxpayer-funded benefits once here. 78% of swing voters in those districts agreed. The swing voters the Democrats can't win them. This is absolutely the most damning poll you'll ever see in your life. Ace of Spades goes on to do a great commentary about Ed Morrissey, who, you know, is a Republican light and talks about extremism in the Republican Party and the Democrat Party and everything. No, what these people can't admit, and they don't want to admit it because they would lose the America First vote, is that they have long been for illegal immigration to basically be the labor force for big business. That's what it was all about. Okay. Anyhow, the last one I want to leave you with here, last thought is, the Democrats are going to be wiped out. I mean, these poll numbers are showing that. But the Democrats are trying to figure out how they're going to message and dupe people in America. Don't let it happen. Make sure you're involved in local politics too, so that you ensure the right candidates are winning the nominations, okay? Otherwise, it's all for naught. I know many of you are rising up and doing that, and you're getting engaged in local races. So I love you all. It's fantastic news, okay? Please support the sponsors. They support the show. Links are in the description, and I'll pin it in the top comment. I love you, folks. Peace out.